Ian, great to have you here, and really super to have you part of our NED graduation day. So we're really interested to ask you a few questions about your journey and your onward journey from here. So how was it for you? How was the experience, and where are you at now?
Yeah, no, it was a great experience. I mean, the reason why I chose this course was effectively to fill what I perceived to be the gaps in my experience from I guess broadening my lens into other board roles. So I've been on the board of, European boards of two kind of global networks in the advertising and design creative industries. But obviously that's a very particular lens on a lot of things, right? Governance, style of management, structure of organisation, and also, more broadly around ESG and the advent of those types of things. So for me, really, having been on those boards, I'd already been a NED in a familiar kind of organisation to me, in a production business. I've been a non-executive director, and so I was like, kind of bringing those same kind of experiences into a kind of copycat environment, right?
Yeah.
And having done that for 4 years, that business was then sold. I kind of sort of stepped back and went, well, have I really got all of the skills and all of the kind of the network, if you like, as well, to be able to push myself and challenge myself to go, how applicable are my capabilities elsewhere?
The gap that you could feel, you saw, which brought you to that continued professional development with Actuate.
Yeah.
What do you think what's the gap you think you've bridged?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of things in that, right? One is governance, and really understanding types of governance, governance in action, as I call it, and then really stepping back and thinking that through in a kind of in a structured fashion. I think when you arrive, or certainly when I arrived in my first NED role, albeit I had lots of clients in different verticals, you're not sitting on their boards, so you can feel or believe you're as client-centric as you like, right? But actually being privy to the pressures, the drivers, and the different components of those businesses, I certainly was very conscious straight away when I entered the course that was a delta for me.
Yeah.
So I think the course really helped in doing that.
Brilliant, great. And so beyond graduation, what does it look like for you now? What's the next role? Have you got a new role?
Yeah, that's a great question. So actually, I wanted to make sure I completed the course and really round out that part of my experience first. So like I said, I did take on the trusteeship, having completed my last NED role. And it was a really conscious decision that I wanted to find something that was on a trustee board, something that was contributing to my community. And it happens that I've landed up with Brentford Football Club's charitable arm, the Community Sports Trust. So it's brought together a number of my kind of passion spaces. I run my own consultancy now, so it gave me the flexibility to do that. So I've really been able to dig in and devote my time to that. I think for me as well, what's really important is actually trying to find something outside of my own industry.
It's great to hear, and it gives you a benchmark. It gives you an opportunity now to look a lot wider through that lens.
100%.
Is there anything you'd change about the programme?
So I think on reflection, I think my eagerness was both well-intentioned.
Yeah.
But I think from a course perspective, to do another course with Actuate, I'd probably make sure that I was joining at the beginning of a cohort.
Yeah. Brilliant. And is the upshot with the two cohorts, it's double the amount of networks?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I've met some fascinating people. And again, whether it's from public sector or, certain kind of industry spaces that I haven't encountered, it's just really interesting to hear about those types and levels of experience. So I'm sure along the way there's going to be some further connections made and reconnections over time.
What surprised you most about becoming a non-executive director?
I think the ability to be able to really step back into more of a coaching role in a board setting versus having to be a kind of decision maker in a very active fashion.
Ian, tell me, what separates good board members from bad ones?
I guess the difference really sets for me in what I'm going to call informed naivety, right? And the notion that the board has brought you into the room because, yes, you're an expert and you have experience, but it's not for you that's not a flex. And being that person who can respectfully, but with intent, challenge